What's up, people? It's your boy GunznPoker coming at you with another review. This is going to be a review on my Smith & Wesson Sigma. It's SW40VE 40 caliber. That's what it's chambered in. First of all, I'll do the safety check for you. The magazine, it holds 14 plus 1 in the pipe. There is no round in the pipe. That's actually the round right there. The ammo that I carry in this weapon, and I do use this as my home defense weapon, is the Ranger T's 40 caliber hollow points. Just to show you that it's empty, nothing in there, good to go. Quick little review on this gun. I'm going to try to do this under 6 or 7 minutes, we'll see. First up, Smith & Wesson Sigma gets bashed a lot. Number one reason why people bash it is that right there. They say the trigger pull is ridiculous. People say 15 pounds, 20 pounds. I've heard one person say 35 pounds. If I'm not mistaken, it's actually 10 pounds when you get it in the box. Mine is no longer 10 pounds. I've actually did a home trigger job on it where I removed the pigtail spring. It was very easy mod. Took maybe 5 minutes. What you'll need to do is this little punch right there. Yeah, you punch it out with a hole punch. You'll field strip it. Punch that out. Take the whole housing out. Remove the pigtail spring. Put it back together. You're good to go. To me, that reduced about 2, maybe 3 pounds off the weapon. So I'm probably at a 6 or 7. I never had a problem with the original trigger pull, but I just wanted to try it. I don't have delicately soft hands. I know a lot of people do. They're very tender. So if this gun is it's going to mess with your arthritis, or if you're a tenderoni with your hands, this probably isn't the pistol for you. This weapon is 14 plus 1. The barrel, I believe, is 4-inch barrel. Weight is like 23 ounces, maybe 24 ounces. I'll double check. I'll put in the annotations. It's like 23, 24 ounces. Can you carry this if you wanted to? Absolutely. I've carried it before. I have no problems carrying it. I've decided to make her my home defense gun along with my shotgun. So she's pretty much been retired from daily carry. But I am going to get another one, which will be my carry. I'm probably going to get 2 more. I want to get another 40, and I want to get it in a 9mm as well. That's the first thing people bash about it. Would I consider that a negative? No, I don't consider the trigger pull a negative whatsoever. What I do consider a negative on this gun, I have 2 things that I dislike. The first thing is the actual rail. With the Sigma series, this rail is not universal. You will need to get an adapter for the Picatinny rail. You cannot just mount any old flashlight, any old laser on it. You will need to get the adapter. I have the adapter, then I added on the laser. I will get a light on it very soon. The reason why I dislike that is because it adds some weight to the front of the gun. I don't like that. It also makes it a lot more bulky, which is, I guess, could be a pro and a con. I mean, it's a home defense gun, so if I had to just smack an intruder, so be it. But hey, that's a con for me. The other con, up here they have the little peephole for if there's a loaded round in there. I dislike that a lot. I think that is very, very poor safety for anybody to practice. I prefer the actual the loaded chamber indicator, where something will actually pierce out from the slide, whether it be on the left or the right or on the top. Anything that actually has the peephole where you actually look and sit there around, I dislike that. I know a lot of people don't have hollow points. They actually use hardball ammo, use the cheapest ammo they can find, economic times. The blazers actually come in a silver casing, so that really blends in. I don't like that at all. So that's my negative. That's my second negative. The trigger pull is not a negative, but to some it is. But quick little trigger job on it, and you can fix it. The price for this gun, mostly you're going to find it brand new between, I say, $390 to $320, somewhere around there. I got it on sale for $300. I also used the Smith & Wesson $50 mail-in rebate, so I walked out of the store $250 plus tax. Well, I'm sorry, $300 plus tax, then I had the mail-in rebate, so roughly $250 plus tax. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Never had a failure to feed, never had a jam, stovepipe, nothing with this gun. I've seen numerous of people who shot it, no problems. I have buddies and family members, no problems. Is it a straight shooter? I would say yes, but I do say that to a certain extent. I don't believe in this gun is not accurate, or that gun isn't accurate. For me personally, it's the shooter, it's not the weapon. A gun is designed, when you pull the trigger, it goes bang. If you pull the trigger on any weapon and the round comes out and it actually goes off, it's done its job. If it doesn't do it, then it hasn't done its job. So I think it's up to the shooter to make sure that he or she is accurate with whatever weapon they are firing. That being said, for everybody who says this gun is not a straight shooter, unfortunately you have delicate hands, you can't handle the trigger pull. Or if you say that this gun is not a straight shooter and you don't have delicate hands and you love the trigger pull, you need to work on shooting this weapon. Every gun is different, every piece of clothing is different, every car is different. Everything that is mass produced is not going to be mass produced exactly the same. So will you have some that are just pieces of shit coming out the box? Sure. You ever bought a brand new car and had a problem with it? Or you ever bought an expensive car and had a problem with it? I know I have. My Lexus, great car, loved it. It was a piece of shit. Now I drive a Chevy. Love my Avalanche. Never had a problem ever with my Avalanche. Is it a piece of shit? Because, I mean, is the Lexus a piece of shit? No, I just had some issues with it, and thankfully that they worked around with it. But aside from talking about cars, the laser does work on here. I'm pretty sure you've seen another video. Takedown is very easy, just like a Glock. Boom. Internals, everything's metal as far as the what it's riding on. So that's a plus. This is the housing that I was talking about. You actually pull the trigger. This piece will come up here. Put your finger there. You're going to feel a little groove. Pull that whole piece out. You can take out the pigtail spring. Put it back together. It takes about 5 minutes. Standard breakdown with any weapon. You've seen my barrel already. It's been polished. Aside from that, put it back together from the fill strip. It's just like with any weapon. Put it back on. Put it together. Test fire. You're good. If you're wondering why I actually lined it up and pulled the trigger, I don't believe in wasting a dry fire. If you're going to field strip your weapon, or just take your weapon down for any reason, if you like to play with your guns, whatever, when you're going to put it back, when you put it back together, you're actually going to do that dry fire. Why waste it? You know, line it up, pretend that's the shot, and then work on your trigger. Any chance you got to actually pull the trigger on your weapon, whether it be at the range or if you're just doing a field strip, what I just did, utilize it. You know, that extra training might save your life one day. What else can I mention about this gun? I'm trying to keep it as quick and as short as possible. Modification I made, obviously you got the adapter, you got the laser. I will have the flashlight on there. I have the patch mire grip. Anybody who has this weapon, I recommend getting a patch mire grip. It actually makes the gun just sit in my hand sturdy. Got the finger grooves, I wrap in there perfect. It keeps everything lined up. When I pull the trigger, it actually eats some of the recoil too, so I'm right back where I started. I do recommend the patch mire. Aside from that, polish your barrel, did the trigger job. That's pretty much it. What you get when you buy this weapon, you get your standard blue Smith & Wesson box. Inside the box is going to be the weapon itself, 2 mags, 14+1 each magazine, and of course all your paperwork that comes traditionally with any new purchase. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Let's see, 4-inch barrel, about 24 ounces. Can you carry it? Sure. Would I recommend it? Sure. If you think you can get away with carrying it, can still carry? Sure. Why not? I mean, it's on your own personal preference. Aside from that, 3-dot sights. 3-dot sights. Excuse me. Line up well. White sights. I never fired this gun at night, so I don't know how well that works in the daytime. I never had any issues with it, so I enjoy that. No external safeties. Excuse me. The only safety on this weapon is actually the trigger. A lot of people may or may not know, but that's the reason why the trigger pull is actually at 10 pounds. A lot of officers were going from revolvers over to semi-automatics, so when Smith & Wesson came out the Sigma, they decided to put the heavier trigger pull on there to try to mimic a revolver trigger. Revolver triggers are much more heavier than a semi-automatic triggers. So that's the only quote-unquote safety, is the extra added trigger pull and that little housing right there. So if you're only using the bottom, you can't pull the trigger. I don't know if you can see that. Can't pull the trigger, but if you go all the way from the top, the full thing, bang, comes all the way back, bang, comes all the way back. That's the only safeties on this gun. If you do have children, I wouldn't recommend you just leaving this gun anywhere. As in my last review, I'm big on safety, especially with those with teenage boys or teenage girls. No matter how much we teach them, we can all have a laugh and judgment. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Polymer frame, 24 ounces, 4-inch barrel. Can you conceal? Sure. 2 magazines. Smith & Wesson always has a bunch of deals going on with this, where you can get the $50 or you can get 2 extra magazines. On my next purchase, I'm probably gonna get the 2 extra magazines when I get to 40. On my 9, I'm probably just gonna take the $50. Other than that, that should be pretty much it. If you have any questions, comments, please shoot them my way. Let me know. Other than that, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts as well. That's pretty it. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So let me know. Holla at your boy. Y'all have a great night. Oh, before I go, shout out to my Philadelphia Eagles again, stomping out the Redskins' ass. Shout out to Michael Vick. He's looking marvelous. He's the #1 rated quarterback in the NFL. For all y'all who did so much problems with him, I'm happy to see him back. He's already paid his debt to society. And one question I have for a lot of people who hate Michael Vick, I'll hold that for another video. For now, y'all be good. Have a great day, great evening. Please, again, questions and comments, sub, all that good stuff. Peace.